Good evening, everyone. Today's topic, straight to the point about visualization and why it's important in life. Very simple one. When you think of an inventor who invented, I actually need to learn my history, I'll be real here, but let's say an inventor that invented the first car or the first automobile of some sort. How did that come about? How did that come about? Did they just put some pieces together and boom, like an automobile was made? Or did they think in their brain and they kind of visualize what it might look like? When businesses were made, were they just gone and made, or did someone think about it first? When the idea of, any invention, right? The wheel, when that was made, I mean, maybe that could have been an accident. Who's to say? Maybe there was a circular thing that just started rolling. But still, when someone was actually designing a wheel for a car, there was thought behind it. They visualized, they drew out what it would look like first, right? Now, the reason that's important is it's the same thing with your life. Use the same knowledge and apply it to your life. If you want to create a reality, you've got to draw it out and plan it first. It's not as easy as just saying, I want money. Money's vague. What does that mean? Map out what your life would be like, how you'd be living, where you'd be living. If you had £100 million right now, what would that do to you? What would that be like? Would you still be at home? Would you still live the same life? Would you act differently? I mean, 100 million is obviously a very big, different example. Like a very, sky's the limit though. But anyway, I guess that's the idea. It's very simple. So you just got to reverse engineer it. Let's say your goal is to have money. Well, to start with, yet again, go to the why. Why do you want money? Why is that important? What would you do with that money? So let's say you wanted £50,000 a month. Why do you want £50,000 a month? Oh, I just want 600k a year, closer to $1 million. Okay, so why though? What does that do? Just numbers? You just want number, or do you want to spend that money? You don't have to, but why do you want it? Financial freedom? Do you want to be able to travel? Figure out why, and then understand if you had that money, how you'd be living and how you'd be operating, potentially what work you'd be in to kind of have that money, and reverse engineer it. And then you start acting like that person. But you've got to visualize it first. You can't. It's not as simple as just saying I want money. I don't want to be poor, because it's too simple. It's too vague. You're just imagining the money suddenly gifted to you, but your life would change if you had that money. So start acting as if it's changed. I'm not saying to go out and spend a load of money, but the exact man or woman that you imagine yourself to be, how would they operate? Would they spend all day watching Netflix, or would they not do that? What is an activity that they might like doing? Just break it down, visualize it. And this is where vision boards are useful. It's similar to people that were designing a wheel. If you have a vision board, you're designing your life. You're just looking at something, then your brain sees that, this way of living, this way of living, this way of living, and it gets used to it. But yeah, I believe that's everything I need to say. Just keep on pushing and spend some time to actually visualize what it is that you want. For example, if you want to make 10k a month, imagine that conversation that you're having with your brother or your friend or your loved one when you've hit 10k a month. What's happening? You just hit 10k a month. You've seen it. Boom. Last month I got paid £10,327. Right? What's going on? Imagine the conversation you'd have with someone, and play it in your head. Be like, wow, I've got this money. Wow, and it's celebration, whatever. You just make that happen, and then it's more likely to happen. Or another one you can do is let's say that you're going to be, if you're a salesperson, you're closing deals. Visualize yourself closing deals and collecting cash, and you can visualize that adding up to then suddenly checking your bank account, boom, there's 10k that's just arrived. Anyway, that's a rough idea. I just came up with that now. I've definitely got that from somewhere. I can't remember where it is. But shout out Nero Knowledge. He's big on all of this stuff and very intelligent when it comes to spirituality. He really got me onto the path, to be fair. I started meditating beforehand, but in terms of the idea of he made it seem, I used to think manifestation was more of let me think of money, it comes over a woman's coping thing. However, he's really shifted my opinion on it, and got me also to, I started reading the book, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, that as well as the content that he produces. Nero Knowledge, very talented individual. I've come to my conclusion on how to operate in life, and I'm still learning, still developing it. I saw a video of his recently that was banged. So yeah, definitely watch him, get a better understanding of all this, and start operating on your highest frequency. Have a lovely night, guys.